So I've been asked to do a video showing how to find the maximum and minimum values on a graph. So I've put a function into my graphing calculator, x cubed plus 2x squared minus 2, and it gave me this graph. Now in this graph, I see that I have a maximum value right here and a minimum value right over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to calculate it using a calculator. So you press second and then trace. And the first one that showed up was a maximum. So I'm going to do number 4. And it really doesn't matter what order you do them in, but I like to go left to right across my screen. But it doesn't matter. So number 4 is a maximum. So I selected number 4, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow its directions. It says left bound. So the left bound is to the left side of this maximum. So I just need to move this cursor over to here. And I can do that in several ways. I can hit the arrow key going to the left, and it will slowly move over there. Or I can just type a number. So like I see -2 is beyond that maximum. So I could just type -2 and hit enter. Okay, so that is the left boundary of this. Now it wants a right boundary. Now when you select the right-hand boundary, you don't want to go beyond the next important point. So I need to be somewhere between this maximum and this minimum. So again, you could type a number. I'm going to use the arrow key so I don't accidentally go to where that minimum is. So right there is definitely beyond the maximum, but not at the minimum. So I'm going to hit enter. Now all I'm going to do is make a guess, because that's what it says, guess. So I just move the cursor to right where I think it is. Right about there, looks good. As long as you're close, it'll figure it out. But the guess helps it to know where to look, and it narrows it down so its calculations are faster and more accurate. So now the maximum is -1.3 repeating, and y equals -1.84, sorry, 8148148. Okay, when you're doing this, to list out the maximum point, you would say the maximum is -0.815 if you want to round, or you can list the whole number, when x equals -1 1/3 or 1.3. And again, you could round as the directions in your question give you. I didn't have rounding directions, so I can round wherever I want. Now, for the minimum, you're going to do the same thing. The minimum is right here. I'm going to go back into the trace menu, so second and trace, and I'm going to select number 3, which is a minimum. Number 3 is the minimum, so I selected 3. Now it's asking me again for a left bound. So I want to be somewhere between the maximum I just found and the minimum. So I'm just going to use my arrow key to go to the right a little bit. And I'm going to hit enter. Just make sure you don't go past the minimum. Now the right bound, I just need to go past the minimum. I see that 1 is definitely past that minimum, so I'm going to select that, 1. Okay, and now I just need to guess the minimum. I think it's right at 0. That's where it looks like it is. And again, you could use the arrow keys to get there, or you can just type 0. And notice it gave me the minimum x equals 0 when y is -2. So I would list my minimum as a minimum of -2 when x is 0. So that's how you use a graphing calculator to find a maximum and minimum. Please make sure you ask me if you have any questions.